Welcome you back to Crypto's GC's News. Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, Ticky down. What is happening, friends? We're going to go through Michael Chad Saylor. Did he buy more Bitcoin? Yes. We're going to go through Arthur Gaze, his big predictions. We're going to go through Gemini introducing a card for XRP. Huh? All of that coming your way and more, friends. The BTC monthly chart is red. It's around 110,000. It ticked down to 109. We have liquidations. The news circulating out, though, is that there was this big, I think, 24,000 BTC seller. I think it's that, or 80,000, or 120,000. I forgot. Just some big, giant, colossal seller of Bitcoin. Some say rumored Richard Hart. We don't know. You never know. And he's starting to move money around. And he's pretty much, I think he's helped really reverse the ETH BTC ratio on the way up. Remember, he sold Bitcoin to buy Ethereum. Enormous move up. So ETH BTC still hovering around 0.039, 0.04. I mean, I had these big up only candles. Maybe it's going to need another few months before we get to where we think we're going. Remember, the spot ETF was around 0.055. That is something we've got to be thinking about because we are down from the Ethereum spot ETF. Okay. This is the Ethereum monthly chart. It's still cracked on through. Remember, it's very volatile. Hopefully by the end of the month, there's a tiny bit of recovery. Ethereum 4,300. I'm just going to show you a bit of the close-up price action, friends. So this, friends, this has crushed some people. Okay, the price structure. I'm going to go through some blockchain backer stuff. We'll just like seemingly. Let's slowly transition into the next scene together, because Bitcoin making a lower low of that structure. It does change a few things, okay? It's quite deep. It really is deep. Yeah, let's go on through. Let's have a look at that because everything else is secondary to exactly what's going on there. So this is the Bitcoin chart on the left, and this is the fractal on the right. Now, the fractal on the right, friends, has been compressed. Okay, so you pretty much, it's been like basically squished from the top to the bottom. Now, if you remember this part, this is just something I've got to think about and talk about. I know it's unlikely, but I mean, like, how do we know unlikely, right? I don't know. It could be that what we just saw was the top because it's a pointy top just like this. And you don't know, you might say, oh, is it this is a thing when it comes to these squiggly line astrology, friends. You got no idea, dude. It's only if, friends, if Bitcoin goes down here, right, everyone's going to say, ha, I was actually selling. I'm a little cheat. But you're going to go and look at all these KOLs. They're not going to basically tell you that they were selling because they weren't. A lot of them are saying, no, we're still going up, still going up. So when we come down here, what might happen, friends, is like you might see another Uncle Bobby post, you know, where he says, you know what, this is structurally bad. We're nearing the end of the 4-year cycle. We've got to get out. By the way, we don't have to go all the way down here. I'm not saying that we will, okay? I'll just show you some screenshots later, but I'm just telling you, like, it is technically possible. What we just saw was that, what a scam cycle. Dude, that was Ethereum literally poking its all-time high. I think it broke it by like $30 or something. Oh, man, this got sent down. I don't think it's over, but, like, you don't know, man. You don't know. It's just, what about the business cycle and everything out here? But this is what we have to work on through. Is it possible that this is our September? We've got to get this double scam, double bottom, maybe. Okay. And also got to remind you as well, like we haven't seen any altcoin mania stuff out here. Like you got to remember, I'm listening. Like when you're looking at someone, like when one guy's in XRP and he's looking at the XRP USD chart, like you're still getting crushed on the BTC ratio. You're just assuming you're going to get your next 5x flash, and you're going to go up to your $10 to $12. You're assuming that you haven't got that yet. You know what I mean? So it's kind of fascinating with everyone and their predictions. They're like, oh, all your coins are trash, but my coin's going to flash up the most to the highest Fibonacci extension, and I'm going to be able to sell and walk away like a genius. If you listen to everybody, how they talk, oh, my coin's going to go to Soylana 1,000. My coin's going to go to XRP. Like everyone's just saying that for their own coins. Right? I mean, even look at PulseChain core coin maxis. They go, no, screw everything else. Richard's going to rotate money. I'm going to click sell 100x high. I'm going to walk away. It's just, we all have this dream. It's a phenomenon. It only happens in crypto. You know what I mean? It's statistically, friends have done surveys. I still remember, I think it was Crypto Banter 2 years ago. It was one of his episodes. he showed this one poll, and I actually posted about it. This poll, what they do is they get the audience expectations, participant expectations versus reality. And cryptos was the worst and biggest gap by far. You know, in the stock market, everyone's expecting between, 5 to 15% or whatever. And yeah, you get that. The average, same as gold, same as bonds, literally every asset in the class around the expectations was really, really muted. Crypto, through the roof. Crypto was something ridiculous, friends. It was something like, based off reality compared to what they expected, there's like a 900% deviation, which is basically a 10x. Yeah, so pretty much, however much crypto goes, it's 10x worse than you expect. Obviously, look, it used to be better. That's the sad part. When crypto started, it used to go 10 times more than people thought was imaginable. Now, in the past 5 years, it's been 10 times worse, hasn't it? Yeah, it has been 10 times worse. Another way to think about it as well is you need to put in 10 times more money to retire now. That's another way to think about it. It doesn't actually have to move 10 times price, right? So maybe when you started, because you heard of all the 1000Xs, you thought, oh, I only need $5,000 to retire because people put in, $300 into Bitcoin. So maybe my $5,000 is enough. Nope. You probably need $50,000. You got to go like harder. You're probably going to invest a full year of your living expenses into cryptocurrency. Now, yeah, that's the reality of it. I hope that's enough, by the way, because you're still assuming a 10 to 20x, which there's no guarantee of that either. So I've shown you the Bitcoin price chart. It's kind of funny. Here we are once again. Is it going to be up or down? It's like, here we go, friends. So blockchain backer, once again, we have, there's an up-only scenario where we just go up, and then there's a down scenario where we go down. So, oh my gosh, we're just welcome to markets. Welcome to markets, Here we are. If we do the up only part, we literally just rocket up only, and then we can resume. If we keep going down from this 109, 110 area, and we keep getting crushed, yeah, it's pretty much poopy town. So what's it going to be? There's something interesting, friends, as well. This assumes a very powerful September. September's usually rectember. We've had 2 green in a row. Now, do you think this time is different? Plays have changed. Oh, man, we're totally guessing. It's always, once again, yep, totally guessing. There is something to be hopeful for, though, friends. This is a Bitcoin dominance chart on the monthly. The MACD is finally flipping red, okay, on the Bitcoin dominance chart. Finally flipping red. And once it flips red, remember, this is monthly, so it's pretty much everything's saying, look, you don't know what Bitcoin's going to do. And I've been telling you this, friends. I've been telling you this for a while, a long while. Okay, months, actually all year. I've been saying, look, Bitcoin dominance is so high that don't think it's impossible for it to do seemingly impossible things, such as Bitcoin just sells off and altcoins are going up. Bitcoin actually sells off, and that's not the end. Okay, just because Bitcoin dominance, it has to look the way I see it. When you are so ridiculously high, I mean, you have, friends, you literally have Willy Woo calling for 90%, and you have Ben Copen going, Bitcoin dominance, 75%, oh my God. When you have all those people yelling, going to Bitcoin conferences. Friends, when you have Joe McCann, who literally says Bitcoin dominance is going to 75%, Ethereum is expensive at $2,000. When he's saying that and he goes, buy soy is going to flip Ethereum. When you have all that, it's just telling me, man, you've gone too far. When you have like Crypto and everyone out here, Altseason is dead. Why Bitcoin Treasury stocks are the new altcoins. I've seen these moments, man. The market, based off supply demand mechanics, like it looks for every reason to go to where it wants to go. It starts breaking rules. It breaks correlations. It breaks rules just to find the way to get there. And one of the breaking of correlations. So people think it's inconceivable. For example, people don't think it's possible, say, Ethereum to be 6,000 and Bitcoin's, they think Bitcoin has to be 150. I know, what if Bitcoin's like 120? I know no one expects, what if it just hits 120? What if it can't do what you think it's doing? Because this is the thing, guys, when all the weak hands are trapped on one side, they don't know they're trapped yet. When they're all shoved on one side, markets do tremendous things when they start going the other way. And everyone, literally, no one wants to take the loss. No one wants to take the loss because it took a lot for them to finally capitulate in. They're not going to go change their mind, right? Let me show you more charts as well. So let's look at the US stocks, and we have the racist Russell 2000 on the right, and we have the Dow Jones on the left. The racist Russell 2000, it broke through its fib, but it's just hanging around here. And then we have the Dow Jones. It has broken its all-time high. So the business cycle is still on the way. It's still on the way. We're going through these daily charts. Yeah, nothing else can really change on the day-to-day mark. This is Ethereum's chart. We're continuing. It's the Bitcoin fractal on the bottom. You know, this is the Bitcoin daily fractal. That's a zombie virus. This is almost like a zombie virus that we had for Ethereum, just going down, 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 down forever to poopy town. Now we're up here. We're up at the extension. Well, look at this. We're at the all-time high. This was what Bitcoin was doing before. This is what Ethereum is doing right now. So hopefully it's going to start flagging up and it actually just starts rocketing. Yes, 7,300. That's the next major fib. So maybe this is where it comes up here. So Ethereum, Bitcoin actually what it did, it went above its price up here. I think that price equivalent was like $30,000 or whatever, 35,000. Maybe Ethereum comes up to 7,300, right? And it's just going to, you know, make everyone think, hey, maybe it's over, and we actually do become and join it for a believer cycle or something. That might be Altseason Wave 2. That'd be quite the story. Also, I want to show you BNB, friends. BNB, look at this. BNB is just, it's rocketing up over time, up and to the right. It doesn't feel like it's all over. Oh, BNB is just like leading the pack and like, oh yeah, it's done. I just don't think so. Also, just to let you know something, friends. My friend Marty Farty, he has been, so Marty Farty is turbo long Bitcoin and turbo long soy. So pretty much turbo long Bitcoin and soy, right? Trashes Ethereum, says Ethereum's bad tech. Do you remember, friends, like Ivan spent, remember I told you the other day, Ivan went, it was 19 minutes of Ivan fudding Ethereum, and he read all of Marty Farty's things. He goes, Ethereum, your architecture's trash, you can't do transactions, I've been a developer 30 years, you're absolutely rubbish. And then I sat here, I go, look, bro, God bless you, got your own opinion. I'll just tell you one thing, man. I'm shit scared of being long soy. I'm very long. I'm very scared of being turbo long soy because every time I go on Twitter, every single person's long soy. They all need it. They capitulated above $100 into it. So they're not long from the believers areas anyway. It's been running up for like 1.75 years. And we already know, friends, anything that has a run up for like over 6 months, we know it becomes dangerous. It attracts a lot of weekends. This thing's running for 1.75 years. Now, friends, I'm even going to show you messages later. Crypto Banter, shout out to the baby dolls of Crypto Banter. They're now calling for a big reversal in it. So it's just like, I mean, God bless us. Do you know what I mean? Like, I know everyone's, it's tough. I know markets are tough. And you might say, hey, but you're holding a lot of dog shit. Yeah, but no. They're dog shit for selling. They're cheap to buy. So yeah, if you want to be clicking out like a Jeet right now, if you want to be selling, yeah, they're terrible coins to own if you want to sell. Okay. Do you like to buy stuff that are cheap or expensive, right? So, and you might say, oh, but you want to sell stuff that's expensive. Okay, yeah, well, hold cheap stuff and then stop crying like a little girl and wait until they're expensive, like the rest of us. What I now want to do, friends, I'll quickly show you some XRP. Just so you know, folks, I just want to show you like there's lessons in these things, right? You see the green rectangles? The green rectangles, right? They are corresponding. There are 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 5 of the green rectangles here. Okay, they're big XRP bursts. But there's a specific condition that they've only happened, which is Bitcoin either breaks its all-time high and expands for the first time, or Bitcoin is finishing the cycle and it's distributing. Okay, so it's either broken all-time high or it's the end. Okay, so what happened at the end of last year? Bitcoin broke 70K again at the end of last year with Donald Trump, and it went up, and then XRP went up to $3, yeah? So it's just showing you consistently, right? When we have the big altcoin bursts, it's like Bitcoin breaking its all-time, it's a high structure, surprise to the upside that you're not finally doing it, or it's the end. Now, this is the thing. This is just XRP cherry-picked, though. Okay? Because if we go back and we look at, say, OTHERS-BTC, remember the OTHERS-BTC ratio, look at this, friends. This happened November last year. It's 1 green candle, and then we got 7 red. All right? So what can we gather from that? Well, look, there's a lot of things. Basically, we've diluted a lot of the signals, man. Like, everything's spread out. You know, things have run earlier, things have run differently. And there's just so much altcoin dispersion. Our network effect's just thrown out everywhere. And it does make sense. You're getting new players coming into crypto. And these new players, they're correlating more with the stock market. So if the stock market's doing good, they're coming and bidding stuff. Like right now, friends, that's why a lot of people, everyone's talking about 4-year cycle. Because this is the truth, right? The retailers want to sell 4-year cycle. Everyone wants to sell 4-year cycle. Everyone's trying to sell. They want Bitcoin to flash up to 150 now so they can get out. Okay, so, but you got to think like, okay, you want to, okay, who's buying? Well, it's the institutions. Would you say they're dumb? Now, here's the thing. There are dumb late money institutions, but do you think Tom Lee being the first guy to stick his neck out and go, I'm going to put an Ethereum treasury, do you think he's stupid? Right? It's a question to think about. Tom Lee, so personally, I don't think he's silly because I'm seeing Freddie Kroiger and other Bitcoin maxis hate Tom Lee. They actually hate him. They go, oh, no, he's the only reason it's going up. I'm like, dude, they said the same thing about Michael Saylor and Bitcoin. So what you're actually telling me is that Tom Lee is the first of many, which means we are not at the end, which means he's not a sucker, which means it's the beginning of the train. That's what that's telling me. Now, we don't know how far the train will go, of course, okay? But this is something to think about, friends. The big green thrusts up for XRP. It's either Bitcoin cracks its all-time high, the structure of its all-time high. You know, at one point it was 1,000, you know, and at this point now it was 70,000. And or it's distributing at the end. So we think about that. I want to share for you a quick Gainzy tweet. So just to show you, just to give you a summary and stuff as well before we continue. In the last 24 hours, we discover Hayden Davis sniped Kanye's coin for $12 million profit, and the CEO of Coinbase is in bed with Sahil. LMFAO, unserious industry. So Hayden Davis was the Libra guy. Remember the guy with the big shot, the funny big suit? The Libra token scammer. So it's not a scammer, okay, but the thing is, he's part of the cabal, right? So the Soylana exchanges, they have they hire different market makers. He was one of them. He snipes on their behalf and his behalf, and then he snipes, and he's meant to leave a bit for the LA Vape cabal and the other cabals, whoever's cabaling at that time, right? Prostitute cabal. They're meant to leave some token supply for them. But what happened was the exchange got so greedy in Libra. This is why it all came in Libra. The exchange got so greedy, the exchange went behind. So they were hiring. So Hayden thought, oh yeah, I'm the insider for these guys. They went and got another scam scummer. So they have like Nassim and someone else, and they all took all the supply because there's not enough money coming in. Okay, so Hayden basically, I think, took all of it. He's like, I had to take all of it because he goes, there's these other people on chain. I don't know who the hell they are. And that's why he kept speaking too much. And I'm like, well, you put all the puzzle pieces, you go, oh, there's what's happening. Someone on top is controlling them. It's compartmentalized. That's all we know from the UFO stuff, right? That's how the Coconut Intelligence Agency does it. And the deep state. They separate everyone. They don't know each other. Okay, and then he just took everything, and then because he's seeing someone else, right? And the exchange obviously never planned for something like this, and then it all comes out because there's not enough money coming in, and the LA Vape will actually lose money, and then they start throwing up their arms, right? And that's how pretty much everything comes out. But also, friends, Sahil, he is the celebrity token launcher. He pretty much just literally scams everyone. You see him. You see, there's an Indian guy living in Dubai. But here's the thing. I know everyone hates him and stuff. I don't care about him going to jail. This is not going to do anything. What? Put them in jail? It's not going to teach the next guy. Oh, we locked up Soy Bankman-Fried and Do Kwon. Did that stop the LA Vape cabal from coming? No. We locked them up and nothing happened. Okay, it got worse, by the way. Now, it's more sinister, background, evil scamming. Okay, it's actually got worse. You lock them up and got because they just get smarter. They adapt more. So what do we do, man? I don't even know if there is a solution. That's why I'm here as your friend. Just telling you, smarter, wiser, friendlier. Friends, just from the bottom. Look, man, from the bottom of my heart, just think about it, okay? Look, I've just said, look, if a KOL is like pushing trading bots in an episode and a show, and they're showing you trading bots, I'm just telling you, man, like trading bots, they're the leverage trading buy Crypto's triangles from like last cycle. It's the same thing, man. You know what I mean? I know everyone's got their own hustle. They want to make money, but like, I don't care, man. I've got no ego, friends. I know the market's bigger than me, okay? Every market I'm in, completely bigger than me. I am not the market. I'm completely humble. I've been in this game for a long time, okay? So like, I have this confidence aura, also fear, But this confidence, like, I'm winning, bro. I'm literally, there's nothing like, that's why when people say, oh, you're too bullish, or you're holding these coins and they're dog shit. I'm like, I literally, I could not care less, because I know it's just going to do whatever it's going to do. It's programmed in, bro. It's programmed in. Just like, friends, when you're playing a game and the odds are rigged against you, you're programmed to lose. Yeah, but when you're holding undervalued assets and there's people growing, there's passionate communities, we all know the memes, cult, religion, archetype of crypto, you're programmed to win, Now you might say, when, moon? I don't know when, bro. I don't know when. You're just programmed to win. It's like you're looking at 6-year-old Lionel Messi saying, when are you going to make it? When are you going to do it? When are you going to get hired by a football recruiter who's going to come poach you? I don't know, bro. It's just he's programmed to win. The universe is saying this kid's going to win. I don't know if some coach is going to find him at 7 or 17 or 70. I'll tell you, at some point, though, he's going to be poached, and you'll see everything play out to its full potential. Now, let's crack on with some news, baby dolls. So, Michael Saylor has bought 3,000 more Bitcoin. He now holds 632,000. So what I'm going to do now, let's check out the Bitcoin Treasuries. It's still hovering, I think, around that 1.4, 1.3 area. So I like to check out MicroStrategy. I like to check out MetaPlanet, because that's Dylan Leclerc. He's a Bitcoin maxi. Okay, he's Bitcoin maxi. I just want to see, because they were like, the big thing in Japan. It's like looking at a rare Pokemon, right? And I want to look at the one that's negative, which is Empery. Okay, Empery here. It's funny, friends. They have 4,000 Bitcoin and it's trading theoretically 25%. It's trading at like $80,000 or something. So MicroStrategy's NAV, we only look at the NAV, okay? This is the most important. You look at the NAV. MicroStrategy's NAV, 1.39. You have MetaPlanet at 1.996. So they will be tracking them over time. And Empery is at 0.775. Okay, so yeah, they take time. Ticky. But we'll be watching them over time. So Michael Saylor, we can go to Saylor tracker. Okay. His average price is now up to 73,300. All right. He's up 50%. The bubbles, the big orange dots. He's going to continue buying. And if you have any doubt that his average price is going to go above 100,000, I'm just tell you this right now, man. Like, friends, look at all no dots here. And look what ends up happening. Look at this bang, bang. Look at all these dots. It feels like he's like really accelerated the damage here. By the way, see how he did some big dots here. Okay, he did some big dots, but then he slowed down. But now he's like, look at this. This is gargantuanly enormous. Like, it's going to get worse. He's got an off button. He's just continuously seeking more money. And I've got to remind you as well, buying a cheap stock with Bitcoin on their balance sheet is not the same as the ETF. Because you have to convince the shareholders, right? Because not all the shareholders are crypto people. You have to convince the shareholders you got to go do the vote and then go to the crypto exchange, sell the Bitcoin, and pay you out. Okay? And with the shareholders be like, no, we're here, we're holding for 5 years, bro. Bitcoin's going to be 500K in 5 years. We don't want to sell it down here so we can pay you out to close the gap. We don't give a crap. The market will do it over time. We have to go through a whole bear market of that. So what I think will happen is in the bear market, companies will be forced to do that of some sort. I think that's what happened. But, that's for another time. Gemini, friends, have introduced an XRP credit card. So this is beautiful. This is really, really cool to see. Gemini, XRP. Wow, the XRP stand. You get cashbacks and stuff. So just to let you know, friends, okay, there's a lot of normies, okay? I'm here to help, right? Just tell you something. Spending your currency is bearish, all right? Why? You spend dog shit that you don't want. You give away trash you don't want, and you keep stuff that you want to keep, okay? If I give you fiat currency, if I give you literally your government currency, and I give you the equivalent value in gold, which one are you going to pay someone with? The paper. You keep the gold, okay? Well, it's the same thing when it comes to currencies like this, friends. It's just people think if you can spend the card everywhere, like it's amazing because they think something new, but it's actually not. Because look, I've got trash currency that I want to spend, okay? I'm not going to go buy yours to go spend that. I can spend my own stuff. But it's good for the community because it does good marketing and naming, and you have an XRP on the card. You get to wear it as a logo and the network effect. So that's pretty much the angle you got to look at. But you want to buy coins before they have a credit card, right? Because it's store of value, okay? That's when you want to buy stuff. Buying low. Arthur Gaze has called for Hyperliquid to pump 126x and Ethereum to $20,000. So, friends, I want Arthur, yes, keep cheering on the higher prices. We want to see that. We just know, friends, Arthur can change his mind in 2 seconds. Remember, he was calling for $3,000 Ethereum just 2 weeks ago, and now he's capitulated. FOMO bought $4,100. He got into a public fight with Arthur, with James Wynn, which is funny enough. So yeah, he can change and stuff like that. So yeah, and what they always do is they go, this thing's going to $100,000. And then the next world event that brings the candles down, they go, oh no, I didn't foresee this event. I've got to change my whole thesis. I'm adapting. That's what always happens, okay? So, you know, you hear this term, strong convictions, loosely held. Okay, not tightly held, loosely held. That's what all of it is, right? This is the global liquidity fractal for Bitcoin, and I'm noticing, friends, it is going the other way. Man, I hope I didn't manifest this. But do you remember I told you, I go, guys, look, I know this looks like up only, but do you remember, friends, what's that name? Natalie Brunel? She went on to CNBC, man. Oh my gosh. And she said, look at this chart. It's easy. It just goes up to the right. Now, friends, I've actually got a quick post here just to show you. I found that when I went and looked on through. Man, Natalie Brunel, man, she literally went on Fox News here. They said this looks like looks like the easiest trade ever. Look, they just moved they just kind of trade in tandem here. It's so easy. You just follow the line. Oh man. Did she curse us? Look what happens next. I hope that's not the beginning of the end. You know what, friends? People say, but Somi, are you going to sell now? You know what I'll tell them?
It's my life, whatever I wanna do. It's my life, wherever I wanna go.
It is my life. I do what I can be want to do. Now, next news. Galaxy Digital, Jump, and Multicoin Capital have aimed to raise $1 billion to buy Soylana for the Sol Treasury. Very bullish, I guess. I'm just going to tell you something. Of course, adding the Treasury. Look, I'm going to cover this again in Yummy Update, all right? When you've got Ran doing an up-only line for Sol, it's you know... You know, friends, he's got a million followers. They're all in Sol. So it's just, I hope it works out, man. I hope it works out. Just, you know, that's pretty much, friends. Everyone's like, yes, buy this. Look, I'll just tell you observationally. I don't see a single person saying to buy the dip on any coin except Sol. That's all I see. Okay, and I'm not following all these people out here that are Sol maxis out of my way. That's what I'm noticing. No one says buy the dip on Ethereum 10% lower. No one's saying buy the dip up here. No one. Everyone's saying buy the dip on Sol. But I wish I could do this. Actually, you just take my word for it. All right. But if you want to, you go through the Twitter comment section on anybody posting about Sol, like when Ivan does or Crypto Banter does. Man, you just see, you're like, man. Now you might say, but Somi, they say that about other coins. No. Okay, when it comes to PulseChain, well, friends, go look at Eric Wall posting about PulseChain. All these Bitcoin maxi friends come out and they just literally, it's literally overwhelmingly negative. They go, scam, trash, Rich is a scammer, he's fat, ran away. You know what I mean? Like, all of it say that. It's only us when we come out to defend it. And also, here's another thing. We're in depression prices. It's like not even debatable there, right? We haven't run up for 1.75 years, okay? I'm just showing you, friends. You don't have to touch any of these bags. You go touch something else, okay? In a very family-friendly way, you can type of touching. That's what I'm talking about. But when you're looking at this, you're looking for cheap value, man. That's it. Cheap value is everyone saying it's a scam. It's never gonna go up. I've been waiting too long, okay? Are they saying about soy? No, bro. No, they're not saying it. You know what I mean? They're not saying it at all. They're saying it's gonna flip Ethereum. They're saying it's gonna be great. And friends, these people did not buy at under $20. Okay, Sol went to 8. Of course, it's a bit unrealistic. No, friends, these people, most people, they were not buying between 13 and 25. Okay, they're buying at 150. They're buying at 180. They were buying at 200. They rotated all their portfolios in. They go, oh, well, this thing hasn't been working for a year. And obviously, they say, obviously, the alt season has been happening, which is they're wrong about. They go, oh, obviously, the alt season happening. And this has all the adoption because all the KOLs are showing me this data where Soylana has 1,000x more transactions speed. Therefore, it should do 1,000x price increase. Total wrong in conclusions. Totally wrong. Because I mean, Bitcoin has 0 smart contracts, 0 technology, 0 stable coins, 0 privacy. Look what it did. Okay, so the answers are right there if people want to look at. Canary files for a spot American-made crypto ETF to hold coins that are made and developed in the US of A, which is very funny and comical actually to think about, friends. So they're putting made in America. We're going to mine the coins in America, but you know, electricity costs a bit agnostic, isn't it? But yeah, hopefully this gets a bit silly at the top. It'll be funny if this does make it all the way and they get an ETF and stuff out here. So this is funny as well, friends. Billionaire heiress Taylor Thompson is suing her former best friend after allegedly losing $80 million in crypto investments following advice from a psychic. Very interesting. A psychic, you say? Psychics and channelers, friends, what I've learned over time, they're just like altcoins. So there's like 10,000 claiming to be it, and the top 0.1% are legit. And whenever I've seen where someone they're gifted, you think, oh, they should be able to predict everything. They don't, man. They're unstable, and they don't like talking to people about it a lot. You want to know why? Because whenever they do, everyone bothers them all day. Yeah, like that girl I showed you. She could see. I forgot her name. No, I did the whole video on her. She could see the MH370 that they got zapped out of the sky. That they went somewhere else. They got zapped out of the sky from the MH370 orbs. Yeah, she said in her earlier life when she was doing it, she goes, people, they stopped this. Very interesting, but so realistic. This is what might happen with AI, right? People stopped seeking answers themselves and improving themselves. Whenever they had any issue, like her girlfriends would just come straight to her. They go, hey, what should I reply to this? Or what's that person thinking? Or what's going on with my job? I'm a bit uncertain. Okay, and what happens is they would keep lowering the bar for the requirements of stress where they would go ask questions. What do I do? You know what I mean? That's why maybe this AI stuff might be a double-edged sword. Maybe AI will teach you how to not be bored, or how to improve, or how you're feeding. It just knows you inside out, and you don't have to think anymore, right? You know, we've already seen, friends. I think my friend Andrew, Andy sent me video. I've sent this to you as well. I think they did some studies already. People who are using AI, your brain, you're using 30% less of your energy in your brain. So they're checking the electronical reads on it. People using AI, yeah, it's crazy, man. Your brain's turned into mush. It's mushing because you're just getting the answer. It's not flexing stuff. It's not imagining. And that's why, friends, even in crypto, when we do the astrology signs, you're trying to imagine, hey, what happens if things go up? What happens if things go down? What does the world look like in those scenarios? You're flexing yourself. You're improving. But when you're just giving the answer, right? And we already know this. You know, if you just sit in a hospital bed all day, yeah, and you don't move, you become soft and mushy. So it is interesting though. But yeah, this lady losing money to crypto psychics. That's right, friends. Even I joke in my things. We don't know what the hell's going on, dude. You know what I mean? You can have all the squiggly lines in the world. One guy wakes up, sells 124,000 Bitcoin, you know? Or like, by the way, all these smart people who were predicting stuff accurately for 1.5 years said to sell Ethereum under 2,000, and they're getting absolutely destroyed because Charm Lee comes out. You know what I mean? So that's why if you stick to long-term trends, it's much easier to take that long-term, to basically bet on the long-term trends. President Pump says in the US, you're going to reduce drug prices by 1,500%. Hopefully that works out great. It's a bit of like, you know, it's kind of these like bullish undertone and stuff, and like, you know, getting things done and whatever. Now, because you're a baby or pumpkin, you want to know where we're going from here. Look, Bitcoin's weekly chart is here. We're around the 21 EMA, right? Yeah, we could always poke down and stuff out here. We're hoping up only. We're hoping it's just one of those things where just like we just do the next candle. Maybe, friends, maybe that's what happens. Maybe literally next week there's an up only candle here, and then maybe it comes back down. Maybe that's what happens before we go up. I don't know. I'm just drawing lines, okay? But as we saw from blockchain backer, it could be one of these nasty poopers. That could happen. I'd be very bullish if that happened, by the way, because it'd be nice for it to break. But also, friends, we got to admit, man, friends, we're almost in September, Rectember. Like, they're all selling in the 4-year cycle. You know what 4-year cycles means? It means sell October, November, December. So, like, just what if September's kind of like good, but then October's like, it gets them out for the double bottom and they're all getting out 4-year cycle. It's over. It's over. Things are different. I don't know. Or maybe we just got to chill out and just wait it out. We'll see. This is Ethereum's price chart. Friends, you can see this, by the way. Not a single person is saying to buy Ethereum's dip here. No one. Literally no one's saying to do that. They're only saying Soylana. I find that very, very interesting that we can still see it. We'll see. PulseChain core coin prices still down, still volatile to the downside. Down. Everyone's pretty much worn out. Yeah, friends, I know when you get angry, things haven't moved. I'll tell you, okay? Richard Hart doesn't control the market, all right? The market controls the market. The crypto market is controlled by the business cycle, all right? So even the crypto market doesn't control it. So that's the cloud over you, all right? You need the business cycle to crank up. What's the business cycle mean? If you want to go down in the nitty-gritty, it means the Russell 2000 and the Dow Jones, they're the final indexes to go up. You need all the US indexes to go up. S&P 500, smelly poop, it's been doing well. The NASDAQ as well have been doing well. Okay, leading the chart. It's just the racist Russell 2000, really racist. Still hasn't broken the all-time high. It's like the final kicker for the business cycle to go up. We need that. Once that's in there, that's everything starting to go up, and Ethereum is already ticking up with it. Okay, so that's what it comes down to. I know it's easy. It's easy for everyone to come and point the finger at one guy and say this or that, but the thing is, friends, when people say, "Oh, other things are all rallying," no, they're not. What things? Let's go through. By the way, let me spend 2 seconds. What things? You mean pump fund that just make a new little low? Okay, friends, it came back to the ICO price. It's come back down here. By the way, friends, they're all saying about how they're buying and burning this thing, and it's amazing. No, they're not. No, they're not. Looks like they're dumping. They're just extracting on the community, man. It's just like, well, we've been telling you this is going to happen for a long time. Friends, look at Avalanche. They're going to get an ETF. Friends, AVAX BTC ratio is still down 91%. Okay, let's look at XRP. Let's look at XRP BTC. Let's look at XRP BTC here. Let's put a monthly chart so you can see it. There you go. You are still down 90% from the top as well. Okay. Let's look at ADA BTC. So where are these coins that are rallying? I want to know, friends. What are you talking about? 92% still down from 2017. You already know ETH BTC is an abomination. Where are these coins? You're like, oh, it's rallying. It's rallying. Oh, it's only down 75% after 8 years now. Right, the only thing that's ever gone up, by the way, is Doge. It's the only hard store of money. See, it made a higher low. That's the only chart. And you have BNB, friends, Doge and BNB. But I've just cherry picked 2 coins. I've literally just cherry picked 2 coins. Okay, where are these other amazing coins that are all rallying? And then what you end up finding out is people in these little shitter groups, and they're like talking about, oh, this coin that launched on this chain 3 days ago, I got in at 300K market cap, and now it's 2 million. Like, did you full port it? No, you didn't. You put in $500. So you're gonna be, oh, everything's rallying. They're not rallying, bro. What are you talking about, dude? You can see it from the Bitcoin dominance, right? And by the way, because friends, I'm here every single day, okay? 18 hours a day. A lot of the optimism is coming from Soylana crowd because they are expecting Soy to go to 1,000, to flip Ethereum, and to just start going up only, and they're expecting what they call the Soylana homoerotic trenches to have all these coins that run up to 700 million market cap for them to get into the next season. It could happen, man. It could happen, okay? Just saying, when you have Kanye West's meme token peaking out in 35 minutes, that just shows you that the grift, I think, has run its course now. So that's where a lot of the optimism and stuff is coming from, okay? But you and I, we're still going to make it. Rectember. Like, subscribe, belly button, all. Catch you soon.